There are 2.3 million people who are locked up in the U.S. About 69,000 of them are kids. But why is that? Why is that?
Hi, I'm Agatha Tarula.
Hi, I'm Tamana Saidi.
Hi, I'm Emily Gomez, and our StudentCam project is on the school to prison pipeline.
My name is Daniel Goldbeck. I'm a first-year law student. I served 3 years on my town's Board of Education.
Can you explain the school to prison pipeline for those who aren't familiar with it?
In the effort to keep instruction flowing and keep classrooms orderly, teachers have really teamed up with administration and in some ways policing to remove students who are unruly and punishing them very severely, almost to a no tolerance level, where someone who has even small behavioral issues suddenly goes from being just a classroom problem to no longer being in school and ending up in the streets and doing things that we don't want our youth doing.
School to prison pipeline is a term that, in my view, really encompasses the robbing of young people of their right to an education. So it's a human rights issue. We've seen over the past decade or more that more and more young people are arrested in school for behaviors that normally had been, or in the past, had been addressed by school staff, school principals, and guidance counselors. It's a civil rights issue because disproportionately more African American young men are suspended from school.
Certain kids, particularly young people of color, particularly young people of color of vulnerability, of poverty, to see themselves not as members of our community, not as members of our classrooms, but instead as folks who deserve to be elsewhere.
Well, statistically, black students are 3 times more likely to be suspended than their white peers. And what that shows you, it really brings into the question, why? Why this disparity? Are we treating black students in those schools and in those environments differently, with a shorter fuse, with less tolerance than we would a white student in a white classroom?
So Emily, what is the 14th Amendment?
No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
The 14th Amendment does not protect all the students equally. 40% of students expelled from U.S. schools each year are black.
1 out of every 3 African American males will be incarcerated in his lifetime. Is this fair?
We're really, really good at retribution in our schools. And we're really good at applying punishment and discipline disproportionately to folks of color. Really good.
On an international scale, the U.S. has the highest incarceration rate compared to other countries. It is especially a problem in New York City compared to other states, where we have more police officers than guidance counselors within our schools.
This is a problem because guidance counselors should be there for us when we have problems, and they should be the ones seeking to help us and get to the root of our problems instead of taking extreme disciplinary actions.
Having a lot of school safety officers in one school can result in minor infractions becoming criminalized.
I think that there's far too many. I don't think police need to be in school. That's the first point.
We ought to be focusing on relationship building, and that police presence moves against the very thing we ought to be focusing on. Police presence moves against trust building. So when we think about the school to prison pipeline and things that we are doing to make schools uncomfortable for young people, we gotta think big.
We don't do as much to figure out what's causing it, what's driving the problem.
Focus on incarceration prevention rather than incarceration expansion. Folks who are incarcerated are those who, from us educators, once needed the most and somehow got the least.